turning my back against the mirror because I don't deserve to look at myself until I've earned it. Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to a new episode of Trial by Fire. I am here joined by my very good friend, Mr. Jackie Smit. How the hell are we doing?
Very good, thanks, mate.
Very good. Jackie's host of the podcast, Into the Necrosphere, but you already knew that, I knew that, and we're going to do something different this time. We're going to be pumping some iron together. We're in this fantastic gym called Sunset 24/7 in Scarborough. So we're going to be training, what are we going to be training today, Jackie?
Shoulders and back.
Shoulders
with
and back.
a bit of biceps added in for pump, because we headed to Fortress after this.
That's right.
Can't look like a wimp at Fortress.
Absolutely not. No, we got to raise the bar, and that's exactly what we're going to be doing in a moment. So we're going to start with some lateral raises to warm up the delts, and then we'll go from there. Okay. So just going to start with 10 kilos. I find with lateral raises, you don't necessarily need to go too heavy anyway.
Yeah.
But especially since we're doing this as a warm-up anyway, just going to go for 10 to 15 reps. So chest out, back straight, and nice. There's kind of different variations to this, but one like really common mistake that I think a lot of people make is that they'll have their arms completely straight to begin with, because if you look at pictures or graphs of the demonstrations of the workout, it's as if like you're a fucking bird trying to fly away.
Yeah, what I find people do that A, looks fucking dreadful, and B, achieves nothing, is when they do it and they're like this. It looks like they're flying.
That's what I was saying. Yeah.
The bend is like at the elbow, and I'm like, I've spoken to friends of mine at the gym. I'm like, you're trying to take flight. You're trying to take to the sky.
Yeah.
Looks dreadful. Stop doing it. My technique improved exponentially from a video I saw Phil Heath do, where he was talking about this, and he was saying, key thing is number one is pinch with your pinky.
Yeah,
So
that's
when you're
right.
doing it, pinch with the pinky,
Yeah,
because if for whatever reason it just seems to pull the shoulders back in the right way. And then the other thing that is very useful, that's from Athlete X, is just slight crook in the arm, and it just comes up there.
That's it. Yeah. Nice. There we go. Nice.
Yeah, so I'm
What weights are those? You went for 15s?
15s. Yeah.
Cool.
So I'm
I would probably say try and use a little less support from the legs as you're doing it. Your upper body's solid as fuck. But yeah. It's still good, you're still getting gains, but just trying to keep it a bit more calculated
more
and less from elsewhere. Yeah. If you get to a certain number, I'd say drop the weight and then drop back down to 12, but then carry on.
Yeah.
Like do another 5-10 reps or something.
yeah.
So you hit 10 and then you feel like you're starting
And then drop.
wobble and then drop the weight and then just carry on.
the old Triple H drop set.
Yeah.
That's where I first learned about drop sets in.
Oh, really? Wow.
Triple H's Guide to a Better Body.
I mean, he had a pretty good, solid physique.
Dude, he looked amazing. Didn't you tell me that Triple H's Guide to a Better Body was one of the things that got you hooked on training as well?
Don't think so. Yeah, I remember watching this interview with Peter Steele from years ago, saying no one wants to buy tickets to go watch a band live if it's just some fat, sweaty guys that are all out of shape.
I remember that.
Said it's not nice to look at. And this was funny because at the time I was fat, so I think that it wasn't like an aha moment for me as such, but it was kind of something that maybe planted a seed in my mind and made me look at things differently than I did at the time. Whereas to me, I was all about, it's the spiritual, esoteric experience, which to this day it still is. It's more so the case now than it was back then.
Yeah.
But that was before we embraced the physical element of it. But yeah, I remember listening to Peter Steele say that, just made me think of how people experience live shows differently as well, because it's the same.
I think it's a good look for a front man to be muscled up.
Well, I'm lucky because it's not just me. Sully and Matt are also in very good shape, especially Sully, he looks, Christopher Necrosphere just did some photos of us in Barcelona, and Sully looks fucking ripped in those photos. And I was like, yes, My man.
That's the correct.
Thank you.
That's the correct what's the man of war of Middle Eastern.
There we go. Right, so I'm gonna show you how I set up the overhead presses.
Okay.
This, by the way, I have to give credit on the record. I learned this from my friend Darko, who's also a coach. Yeah, he's been on the podcast a few times. Great guy, very talented coach. A very good way to do these is to actually use a suicide grip, okay?
Yeah.
Which is when you get your thumb up above the bar instead of around it, okay?
Yeah.
So what I like to do in the setup, so one thing when I was watching you do it, is to make sure that you bring the weight down all the way, okay? And if you want to wear a lifting belt, that tends to be quite helpful as well. That's why I've got one on now, although it's not super tight. So what you want to do, stretch out, bring yourself under, take a couple of steps back, all right? And then what you want to do, make sure your elbows are pointing forwards.
Yeah.
And then what you want to do, push your glutes in, and then as you lift up the weight, you want to bring your head forward underneath the bar as you're doing it, okay?
Gotcha.
And you want to keep it explosive. So again, with anything, brace first, and then reset. So brace.
Yeah. You know who's a fucking great front man? Even though he says nothing to the audience, but the fact that he can command an audience for 2.5 hours and make them go ape shit when he just says thank you at the end of the
Till Lindemann.
Oh, there you go. You read my mind.
I already know exactly who you would say.
Yeah. Yeah, Till is the man.
Elbows forward. Boom. Easy. There we go. This man was literally built to move logs up in the mountains. What's that? You're talking about Phil Anselmo. I love that video from Donington. I'm trying to remember which song it is. I think it's This Love. Randomly, in the middle of the song, out of nowhere, Phil turns around and says, I got too much money to kill myself now. It's brilliant.
One of my favorite Phil lines, I've got two favorites. One was right before he does Domination.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, this is a lesson in hardcore from the Lone Star State. And people are like, this one's called Domination.
Fuck yeah.
And then I think on 101 Proof, he does you hear Rex go dun 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 dun, and Phil's like, can you hear Rex's bass? Dun 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 dun. I said, answer me, can you hear Rex's bass? Dun, dun, dun. It's like fucking,
Nice.
oh my God. I get goosebumps thinking about shit like that. Oh yeah. So we're talking about fucking annoying shit at the gym. So the first thing that I fucking hate, people that piss around on their phones, or they claim a bunch of different equipment. They don't put anything down to say, hey, I'm training gear, or I was a superset or whatever, which is fucking annoying when the gym's
The most
busy
annoying
anyway.
thing is when you start hoarding weights, like dumbbells by your bench.
Yeah.
When you're not using them for...
But like when
If you're doing supersets or drop sets, fair enough, but you see people just like hoarding weights because that's the next exercise they're gonna go to, but they're not even using it yet, so that's kind of a pretty lame thing to do. But you know what's even more annoying at the gym?
What?
People who come and shoot episodes for YouTube. That's the fucking worst.
So, yeah, you know, these dudes that hoard the equipment, you're just about to start a fucking exercise, then you hear them come shouting it from the record, oh, I'm using that. It's like, how the fuck are you using that, you dumbass?
The most embarrassing is when you get guys who are lifting, well, not very heavy weights, but then scream as if they're dying.
Oh, dude.
Yesterday, I was doing some split squats with my fiance, and I was doing them, and afterwards, like, I was in so much pain. There was this, like, piece of mirror in front of me, and I had such an urge to, like, headbutt it and crack the mirror. But it was just a response to the sheer pain. I just wanted to, like, crack the mirror with my head. But it's good. It's good to know that you're capable of aggression, but then you control it, you know? It's a very valuable thing to have as a man.
I'll sometimes shout at not shout, but I'll sometimes swear at myself while I'm training. It'll be like, come on, you stupid fuck.
Yeah.
Hips in.
Boom. Strong, look at that. Nice. Reset, hips in, elbows forward, breathe. Boom, perfect. Love it, man. Fuck yeah. Let's go.
Matt from Cryptopsy.
Oh yeah.
But we did talk about his veganism, and I was nice about it. I didn't say,
You were nice about
don't
it.
ever come to my house.
The thing is, Jackie,
Don't
like,
show up for dinner in my house.
honestly, Jackie, I've said this to you before. I have more respect for vegans than I do for people who have absolutely no idea what they're putting in their body.
Yeah, no, that's true.
It's not something that's sustainable. I don't think it's something that works, and you have to be cautious of the fact that what you're eating is ultimately funding the same companies that are also doing factory farming.
Yeah,
It's a very important thing to keep in mind.
Yeah.
So there is nuance to it, but if that's someone's personal decision to do that, I respect it. You know,
agree.
I think, you know, you go for it. But
When you get whack stuff like, and I'm obviously not saying Matt is whack, but what I'm saying is if you get whack situations like, I saw this woman who called the police because her neighbor was having a barbecue, and
This
she
is too
said,
lax.
I've asked them to
stick another
stop
10
doing
on.
it and respect the fact that I'm a vegan. That's a problem.
I do respect it because I know it comes from a place of care. And it also, what it means is that you're being respectful to your surroundings, to your environment. You don't want bad things to happen to animal. I don't want animals being mistreated either. I do love the train of thought. But ultimately, I think it's finding the right balance of making sure you're not, it's not at your own, shall we say, detriment, which it is. You know, I think accepting a degree of sacrifice of your own health and well-being for the sake of avoiding harm to others it is a virtue.
Yeah.
But what I don't like is when it is promoted as a healthier way of being. It's a healthier way of being if you're not looking after what you're eating at all, which by the way is most people. So that part, it is. But what is not healthier than is having a balanced diet,
omnivorous diet.
full of, exactly, and then supplementing and then training on top of it. It's not healthier than that. It's certainly not good for women long term, because then you're missing out on all the collagen and all the creatine. These are things that are absolutely essential for optimizing your hormone production.
For being sexy.
For being fertile. And, you know, again, if you then still decide to willingly sacrifice that for the sake of the betterment of the planet, go for it. No problem. I respect it.
They don't
No
seem to
problem.
care about fertility nowadays, mate.
Yeah. When I say equality is not a thing, obviously, you know, there's nuance within that. I don't mean that like a societal level, but just in terms of nature. You know, people are dealt with different hands when they come into the world. You know, I think it's what you do with that hand that counts.
Oh, yeah,
it's
definitely.
not to like have any prejudice against anyone. You want to treat people with respect if they deserve, or more importantly, earn that respect.
Yeah.
But at the same time, people come into the world with different things, you know, and a lot of it is habitual, you know, and a lot of work ethic and different things, you know, people can pick up from their parents and their surroundings. So there's that. But again, genetics. Let's do it.
There was this guy named, I mean, you know, you don't often get serious people at an uphill gym. But there was this gentleman from Nigeria that was training, and we were kind of giving each other the side eye. And then he's like, "Oh, you lift pretty heavy weight." I was like, "Yeah, well, mate, you lift way heavier weight than me." And he's like, "You want to train together?" So we started training together. His name was Conan.
Love it.
I've got a video of Conan spotting me for that 165 for 3, but brother, that guy is about as savage a man as I've ever seen in my entire fucking life. Beast. Absolute fucking beast.
Boom. Oh, that is a sexy feeling, man.
Hey.
There's nothing like it.
You got very good biceps, mate.
Thank
Very,
you.
very good.
It's the cutting that just makes the details come out, man.
Yeah.
And the trick is as well, if you want a good look on your biceps, just make sure you train your triceps, because that's 70% of your arm muscle.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you think about it, so your triceps take a lot more room. Okay, whereas if you're training biceps, that's mainly covering just this area here. If you train your triceps more, that'll give more room for the biceps to come up.
Yeah.
So it looks more impressive. So there's a mistake I made in the first couple of years of training, focusing too much on biceps, but not enough on the triceps. Now I got a nice little quads on there.
Of guys that are like superior physique athletes, Phil Heath, Dorian Yates, Larry Wheels, who do you think has got the best biceps?
Great question. I think Phil Heath's biceps are insane.
Great question, but inevitable answer.
I get that his name, unfortunately, is a little tainted with the TMNT era of bodybuilding. But
the amount of work that went into that, mate.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck how tainted people want to make him, but
yeah.
He's also a great guy. And
I think
you could watch 10 minutes of a video with Phil Heath and you'll learn more than you can learn from fucking 900 copies of Men's Health or...
Oh, yeah. Well, a lot of that stuff, they're trying to sell you shit at the end of the day.
Yeah.
That's why there's so much conflicting information online about how to get healthy, whether it's with the diet or training. And it's just like, there's stuff that's worked since the dawn of time and it is still working. You don't need to reinvent the wheel to be able to build an impressive physique. Yeah, there's stuff that'll maybe like help you kind of push over the edge if you're trying to compete or whatever. But if you're just trying to build mass, get strong, feel good, feel healthy, you don't need to reinvent the wheel for that. They were already doing it 50, 60, 70 years ago and longer before that. And by the way, we have more access to stuff nowadays.
Look at those big ass barbells over there.
Those are the
bent because the thing is so because it's so heavy.
I love that shit. I love it.
But yeah, it reminds me a bit of Iron Addicts. Oh, actually, you know what? Just thinking of biceps, there's a man that had great biceps, CT. Did you ever see the CT Fletcher video where he won the strict curl? I think he set the strict curl record, leaning against the wall, and I think it was 110 kilos.
Turning my back against the mirror because I don't deserve to look at myself until I've earned it.
Would you do a physique competition?
Yes. It'd take me ages to prepare, and I'd obviously do a natty one, but yes, I would. Nothing against the non-natty ones, that's just my trajectory.
Yeah.
I'm quite focused on longevity, so my main thing is to be a musician, so as well as a coach, obviously, but you don't need to be juiced to be good at being a coach. I already have clients who can lift heavier than me.
That's not... Lifting heavy is... I mean, again, do you want to be in a strongman competition or do you want to look good? Again, Phil Heath said this, the Ferrari doesn't need to remind anybody that it's a Ferrari.
Like if you watch his like arm trainings, it's not going heavy at all. It's the style of training, it's the tension that you put on the muscles.
Yeah.
That's how you get the real results. Yeah, some fantastic, like, if people just are looking for like free workout tips and stuff, I would recommend checking out some of Jay Cutler's arm workouts online. It's really fantastic. I remember I used them like 4 or 5 years ago when I was still kind of like really wrapping my head around stuff. It was quite useful.
Right, I need to finish.
There we go. Excellent stuff, man.
Thank you, brother.
Pleasure. All right, ladies and gents, that's it for this episode of Trial by Fire. Been training with Mr. Jackie Smit from Into the Necrosphere. Go support the podcast, watch his interviews, learn about life, listen to some of the news rants, especially you want to tune into those for the news rants. The interviews are good, but you want to hear the news rants. Completely unfiltered, just no holds barred.
No, not for wimps. No wimps, no mercy.
There we go. Not for children or cowards, should we say.
Thank you very much for this, my man.
It's been a pleasure, man. Thank you for training 100%. With me. Honored to have you on this show as well as Iblis and all the other stuff we've done. Sure, we'll have some other chats later.
Many more.
Yeah, we'll be doing many more. Let's do a final flex for the camera, shall we? There we go. Yeah.